Luka Doncic signing a five-year, $165 million extension with the purple and gold. A lot of gold right there. A lot of gold. Keep in mind that that's not really a 5-year deal. He's going to opt out of that in less than 5 years. But let us discuss the question, how big a deal is Luka Doncic's $165 million extension with the Lakers? Put that into some perspective. So on this one, I've got Launching Pad, The Full Monty, and Larry David. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make some hookah for Hookah Luka is what we're going to do. So number one. I said number one. That's right. Everyone freaking out like this is a massive moment, a point of demarcation. And I opened my inbox, and when I deleted all the Blind Scott emails that he sends to me, I then went through the other email, and it was, yeah, it's over now. Luka's a Laker for life. It's over. Clippers suck. Everything I didn't bring up. I didn't email these people. They emailed me, these idiots. Surprisingly, not one of them from Rick O. Usually Rick O is the one that sends those messages, but this was some other people who are semi-regulars in the email chain. So anyway, listen. In terms of this being some kind of massive moment, spoiler alert, it's not. It's not a massive moment. It's a bridge deal. Think of it like in NASCAR, it's a pit stop. Now, the race isn't over when you go to pit row. It's not over. You have a pit stop. The race continues, right? You go to the gas station. In this case, you get some gas there. Maybe you get some snacks in a little mini mart there at the gas station. And now the real money, though, is in 2028. So this is just a vehicle to get to 2028, and it's not about the Lakers. This idea that some of you idiots have. See, Luka's fallen in love with the Lakers. He loves the Lakers, wants to be a Laker for life. Oh, my God, he loves Hollywood, loves L.A., the whole thing. It's not about that. It's not about the loyalty. It's not. It's about building the launching pad. This is about building the launching pad, and the missile is filled with money. Money, money, money. Luka playing financial chess here. And so, again, this is not – if he had been traded to Minnesota or Sacramento or Atlanta or New Orleans, he would have done the same thing. It is wise financially to play this game. Contracts don't matter. If Luka decides 2 years from now or 3 years from now, I don't really like being a Laker, I don't like L.A., the player dictates in that world where they go. Luka can manipulate things and decide where he wants to play next. So that's the reality of that particular situation. And so he's playing a little bit of chess, as we said there. It's strategic. That's the move. He signs now, assuming he stays healthy, has no major injuries. He keeps getting all NBA selections, and bam! 2028 comes around, and he's now eligible for I believe I read the largest contract, I think is what I read over the weekend, in NBA history. It's like $417 million or something like that. That's the real money. That's the real prize. Not that $165 million. Listen, if I got paid $165 million, I can't even get a raise from this place. If I got paid $165 million, my God, that would be great. But it's the NBA economics, right? That's starter cash for a guy like Luka, $165 million. This is a setup situation, a setup job. It's a stopover, and he's just pulling in, as we said, to the rest stop or the pit stop. He's pulling into the rest stop in this case, grabbing a Gatorade, some chips, possibly a candy bar, and then in 3 years he will go again, bam, let's kick it up a notch, and let's get that real money, money, money. Now, page 2. Are you surprised that Luka is locking in with the Lakers right now immediately? So I've already revealed my hand. I think it's rather obvious. I'm not surprised, as I said. Some kind of rhetorical question. You got to be joking, right? You got to be joking. Like Luka was hand-delivered by Nico Harrison, and we can get into the conspiracy theories if you'd like. We've done that a lot, but he was hand-delivered to L.A. by Nico Harrison, And more likely than not, there was some manipulation at the league office, whether that was Adam Silver or somebody below Adam Silver, but it was an inside job. It's an inside job. And you are the Mavs, all right? You're the Mavs. You're willing to trade Luka Doncic, and you only allow one team to bid on him? Are you out of your bloody mind? But that's what happened. So it just doesn't pass any kind of test. And so we're not going to go re-adjudicate that right now, but this is what the Lakers have always done. This is why people don't take the Lakers seriously. They're a joke franchise. Everything's given to them. Anyone else, you have to earn your things. The Lakers, just everything's given to them. This is why people hate the Lakers, and why Laker haters, there's more Laker haters than Laker lovers. They're given the stars, and then they seduce them and all this nonsense. Hollywood, shoe commercials, you name it. The courtside movie moguls, which don't matter as much anymore. Now it's more about social media influencers and all that. But it's the same playbook. The only difference here is that Luka wants to get to that big money, and so to get to that big money, you got to have this little, I say little, $165 million, but you got to get this contract. And he sees the long game. And he knows that L.A. gets you that global stage and all that stuff. And so you want the $400 million supermax from what I read over the weekend, and you gotta stick around till 2028, and then you're everywhere. You're everywhere. You'll make another Space Jam movie for Luka. Whatever you want, right? Whatever you want, you're going to get. And Dallas would have given him – he would have made more money right now had he not been traded by the Mavericks. And so the risk is he's going to get hurt or get fat again and fall in love with the tremendous food options that are out there, and then that'll cause some issues here. But – Luka is positioning himself much like LeBron. LeBron didn't come to L.A. because he wanted to play for the Lakers. He came to L.A. because he wanted to make crappy movies and have his terrible TV show picked up, and he got everything he wanted. He got all that by playing for the Lakers, and that was a while ago, right? LeBron got out of the winning business. The Lakers haven't won a championship with LeBron. So Luka's there. He gets the full Monty at this particular point. He's going to get the full Monty. It's the branding, the imaging, all that stuff. And if you want to say, oh, it's the legacy, I don't know about that. But MVPs and titles and all that stuff. And he wants the statue, the all-inclusive full Monty package, statue next to Kobe, all that stuff. Like the mausoleum out in front of that Skid Row arena. They play in there. But this is really the calm before the financial storm. It is. The NBA's new TV deal, which just is kicking in this next year with the Amazon and NBC picking up part of that. The cap is going to explode, and Luka knows it. His agents know it. The Lakers know it. Everyone involved is aware of what's going to happen here, and so he isn't settling because this is where his preferred destination. He's settling because this is how to get to his destination, which is the next contract. So this is just the takeoff point. $165 million, which used to be the mountaintop. That used to be the mountaintop. It's not the mountaintop. For Luka, that's just the base camp. The summit is 3 years away. And really less than, we're in August now, so you get through the rest of 2025, 26, 27, and then in 28, so I guess it's like, it is kind of almost 3 years. But 2028, that's when you go to the Mount Supermax. A wonderful mountaintop, thin air, good air quality, not a lot of pollution, pretty solid. Now, final point. So one of the comments, as you would expect, there's some cliches you're supposed to say when you sign an extension with a team. You talk about how you want to win and you're committed to winning, and Luka said that. I saw some of his quotes over the weekend. Luka Doncic said he is confident in the Lakers' title chances. He said, saying, we're going for it. That was the quote, we're going for it. So question for the esteemed panel. Are the Lakers a championship contender as they are currently constructed, or are they a mirage pretender? So the arrow is pointing towards the mirage, and it's not the hotel in Vegas here. So let's hold off on the parade down Figueroa through Skid Row. The roster is much more of a house of cards situation. At this particular point, it's a house of cards situation than a championship roster. And so it is a mirage. LeBron James is headed to year 23. We still don't know for sure whether LeBron's going to be on the team or not. He's still having daily conniption fits with the Lakers. He's very upset that he's no longer the one that's at the very top of the pyramid now, that he's been usurped, as Alf likes to say, usurped by Luka. Right? And that's the direction. And he's gone from the chosen one, LeBron, to the confused one at this particular point in time. And again, griping these tabloid reports, LeBron griping behind the scenes about being downgraded in the chain of command with the Lakers there, and he's upset that Luka's now the teacher's pet, and that bothers him, and he's annoyed by that. Now, it's unfortunate, but this is the reality of LeBron as a Laker. People talked about LeBron back in the day chasing rings. The only rings LeBron's chasing now are ones made out of onions, if you know what I mean. And you still have his buddy podcaster coach. Now, the real moment in this story where things change is the moment they get rid of LeBron's buddy, the podcast guy, J.J. Redick, who embarrassed himself as a coach last year and in over his head. He loves to ooze arrogance, though, J.J. Redick. He's the smartest guy in the room. Just ask him. He'll tell you. In fact, you don't even have to ask him, and J.J. will tell you what a wonderful person he is when he acts like a complete a-hole. Now, as far as the supporting cast, a championship roster, allegedly, according to Luka, they're going for it. So let's break that down scientifically. So you're building a championship roster with spare parts. Is that how that works? I'm looking around. So DeAndre Ayton, who has the competitive fire of a scented candle, was one of your big pickups this year. So, hey, listen, people like scented candles. My wife loves scented candles. A lot of people love scented candles. You don't really build a championship on a scented candle. Marcus Smart, all right, nice player, hustle guy, glue guy, Marcus Smart, great haircut, and can't shoot. And at this point, a lot of miles on the odometer for Marcus Smart. He's more name than game, and certainly never was all that great in the game. Then you got Austin Reeves. This is the biggest problem that I have. So LeBron's unhappy. He wants out. But Austin Reeves, can we all agree? Overrated. Did he not get exposed by Minnesota in the playoffs last year? He got hunted on defense every possession by the Minnesota Timberwolves. His offensive game couldn't make it up. They thought that they had the Lakers' Alex Caruso 2.0. And it turns out he's just another phony regular season guy at this point, Austin Reeves, who disappears when it matters most. There's a dime a dozen, and he was exposed in the playoffs this past year. And so, yeah, they got Luka. He's in shape. Congratulations, Ozempic, whatever he's doing. Congratulations on that. He showed up in L.A. looking like, he passed up on all the off-season buffets and all that, these photos, the spread in Men's Health, all that stuff. However, let's revisit this, you and I. We're going to revisit this storyline around, let's say, pick a date, January 17th. Just an arbitrary date. We'll check back in January 17th after a few of those 2 a.m. Dunkin' runs, get those late-night donuts and the standard post-hookah Dave's Hot Chicken binge. We'll see how he's doing. We'll see how he's doing there. And he's one extra barbecue sauce and one extra glazed donut away from falling off the wagon, and then he will be Doncic is instead of you know what I mean. Anyway, listen, we'll see. Luka, he's looking great now, and that's wonderful, and all that, and. Of course, by the time the season gets going, mid-season, is it going to look like he just came off a 3-day weekend, all-inclusive, eat whatever you want cruise? And you got to roll him off the boat, if you know what I mean. And as Larry David taught me, one of the great philosophers of our time, nobody likes a wobbly table. The Lakers roster is a wobbly table. They're not a real contender. They're a wobbly coffee table. And for some low-information fans, it looks like they're a functional roster on paper or a depth chart. It collapses under pressure. The glue, there's not enough. It's glued together, mismatched pieces around Luka, and you hope for the best. Right? That's not much of a plan. It's not much of a plan. So hope and a prayer, right? Wing and a prayer, hope and a prayer, all that stuff. And there's a lot of volatility still to be determined and very little continuity regarding the situation with the Lakers, and the stars are bright. The foundation, flimsy with a capital F.